If you go to the local grossier and look for some London broil,
Grossy.
could meet us. MEAT. But if you want to communicate about the Marvel Universe, you can tweet us at John's new handle, which is at Comic-Jon.
That's right.
Comic-Jon
This is the official. It's comic_John1 on Twitter.
I love the underscore.
All these bozos out there that have that name, you need to give it up.
Yes.
Because I am Comic-Jon. I mean, what are you doing with that name? No one's heard of you. Okay,
No.
so hand it over.
They have it. And when I started my YouTube channel in 2011, Kingman Productions was taken. And I was like, really?
No.
So I went there, and I guess it's like Kingman Productions, and there was like one liked video, and like they were obsolete, or they were defunct. So I was like, okay, I'll do Kingman Prods. And then when I did Twitter, I was like, I'm gonna do Clark the Shark, and there was a Clark the Shark taken, and it was some kid in Georgia that hasn't tweeted in like 5 years, and I was like, that's what social media needs to do. If you're not active after like 3 years, they need to send you a notice and be like, yo, we're gonna give up your name, or that's it, because they will be there forever. For his Comic-Jon, whoever is Comic-Jon will be there until he deletes his account, which will be never,
Right. No one's going to go through that effort. But regardless, welcome everyone to the first episode of Comic-Jon, and we're going to kind of bounce all around in the comic world, in the movies, TV, maybe even the actual comic books. But my first topic tonight, first topic on the inaugural episode, is the next movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is a weird one for many reasons. But first, it's basically the first prequel. It's a movie set in the middle of like the current movie timeline, which they've never done. They only flashed back in one movie, in the Captain Marvel movie, oddly enough, another female movie. That movie was set in the mid-90s. This one's set in between Captain America Civil War and Avengers Infinity War, which is the time when the Avengers were split up. What the hell she was doing, because she was kind of like on both sides. But dude, this movie's been in development since 2004.
Oh my god.
And like Lionsgate owned the rights to Black Widow, and they just like couldn't get it together. And eventually Marvel, the rights reverted back to Marvel. And in 2009, they had Emily Blunt set to play her in Iron Man 2.
Ooh.
But Emily Blunt was like, I'm choosing between you and Gulliver's Travels. And
we've all watched that film.
Yeah, they have a universe of 20-plus movies they've made over the last 10 years.
I didn't even know that was a movie until you just said Gulliver's Travels. I'm familiar with the story. I didn't realize that was even a movie. That's a thing?
I remember in third grade, Mrs. D was like, they did like a, it was like made for TV movie. And it was like Sunday night. It was a big deal with, what's happening? You just heard something?
What's wrong?
I don't know. All of a sudden, the sound got different on your end. It sounded like somebody else was on the call. I got kind of freaked out.
Wait, I think somebody else is on the call. John, do I get a picture of Comic-Jon? It's Darth Vader.
Oh,
He's playing baseball.
Where the hell was I? Oh, Emily. Oh, yeah, Gulliver's Travel. She was like, did everyone watch Gulliver's Travel? And we were like, no. We watched In Living Color and Married with Children.
Gulliver's Travel.
So in 2009, Scarlett Johansson signed to play Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow. And her deal included like multiple films. So so after the first one, she was originally in Iron Man 2. Like she had like a guest appearance.
Yeah, good flick.
And they were like, all right, let's do a standalone, but not until we're done with the Avengers. So they did the Avengers, Captain America Civil War, Avengers Age of Ultron, Captain America Civil War, or Captain America Winter Soldier, Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. She was in all of those movies without a standalone. So now we're getting her own Black Widow solo movie. And they went through like 49 directors before choosing Kate Shortland, Ashante, and Maggie Betts. Have you heard of this Asante, one-name director?
No.
I kept hearing their name, and I was like, I don't know if I'm just mishearing. Yeah, Asante, Asante.
I don't like the one-name people. It's like, you're not Jesus. Stop. Like Jack Kay, or what's the baseball player's name? I mean, he had a first name, but the guy for the Mariners, the Japanese guy, they only called him by one name.
Ichiro.
Yeah, Ichiro. Ichiro's on the play. Okay, all right.
Babe.
Who else? Yeah, but I'm never a big fan of like the one name, unless you're like Prince,
Madonna.
Yeah, like if you're a superstar, that's a stage name, fine. But not if you're a director or like an athlete. Like, stop.
Yeah, you better be like a world-renowned, known name.
It's the only way you have to be. Like Jesus, you have to have like billions of people know who you are. That's it.
Like Doogie.
By the way, don't you think that the fact that you mentioned all these films and the comic universe, it only works with comic books and superheroes because they have such a big catalog of a backstory that you can do that, and it makes sense. Like if you did a Jurassic Park every year, it would just be like washed up. You'd be like, yeah, I get it, it's dinosaurs. But because with the superhero universe, there's so many story arcs and backstories and characters that it works. You can do it with it staying fresh. I mean, imagine taking any other genre, any other like type of film, and making as many films as they do on the budget they do. It would be shit. They would like wash up every universe. If they're like, we're even Star Wars. If like we're doing, and Star Wars is kind of in that territory.
They're in trouble.
But if they did like 2 Star Wars every year, which they're not far off, it seems to get washed up. And there you go. There it is. That's you slapped the lunch. You slapped it on there. You made a lunchbox, and there it is. There.
Never thought about if you only thought about if you could. You never thought about if you should.
Right. The producers, Asante's studio, they were too busy worrying if they could. They never stopped to think if they should.
That's what it is. So anyway, I'm interested because there is like there's going to be an origin story. She's like a Russian assassin. Highly trained former KGB assassin. But I think that's only going to be part of the movie, like a very small part of the movie. I think Act 2 and 3 are going to be that time period between Civil War and Infinity War, the 2 wars.
Wise assessment.
The cast is pretty good. David Harbour.
Harbour.
Do you know who David Harbour is?
Yes, I do.
Huh.
He's the actor in Stranger Things.
Yeah, you almost said his name is Stranger Things. Hopper? Happy? Hopper?
Yeah, he's a good actor. Yeah, I saw he was going to be in that. They showed stills, and that guy's star is blowing up.
Yeah, man, he's huge. He's huge. He for like the Comic-Con panel, he wore like a Captain America shirt because he's playing Alexei Shostakov, a.k.a. the Russian Guardian, a Russian super soldier counterpart to Captain America, who has a history of Romanov. I
love when guys later in their career that are older are huge all of a sudden. Like, it gives me hope. It gives all of us hope, like any guy. Because, like, look at, like, Liam Neeson. I mean, he was always a good actor. But then, like, he did, like, Taken and stuff. And then he's, like, this 55-year-old Irish-American action hero that's doing, like, 2 movies a year. You know, I love when you see that. And now, like David Harbour, he's just gonna look at Ryan Reynolds. He's this really good looking dude that was in like some movies. He did like some shitty movies, and then all of a sudden he just blew up, like in his mid-30s, and he's in like 5 movies a year. I love that.
I feel like more than ever the artists in the movie industry know the audience better than ever. I feel like before it wasn't even for the audience. It was just kind of like
a big circle jerk.
I'm gonna do this, and like whatever, I don't care. But now it's like you are a fan of what you're doing.
Yes,
yourself. You know,
It makes sense. You believe in it, and that
you know what other fans want.
right.
Florence Pugh, who I'm not sure, O.T. Fagbenel, and Rachel Wise, who actually plays.
Hot.
So there's actually two other Black Widows because Natasha, Nat, Scarlett Johansson's character, is one of many Black Widows.
Right.
Like the Russians, the KGB, they trained all these chicks from birth.
Super agents.
They castrate them. They not castrate, but you know what I mean. They
castrate them.
They enable them from being pregnant.
Right.
There's like a ceremony.
They infertilize them.
And I think they inject them with something where their skin becomes like marble. So they're basically indestructible. So you'd have to really fall far.
Do they show emotion?
Oh, dude, no, not at all.
So they're like Melania Trump. They're like marble that shows no emotion, that are just infected by the Russians, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spot on.
It's like our first lady. What?
That anti-cyberbullying campaign's going really well.
Yeah. She really
except
went
for
right to the source. Yeah, except for the most important man in the world who bullies more than anyone. It's working out.
Non-stop bullies.
But their skin's like marble, and they're basically indestructible because they can it's like a force field of the loins, if you will.
It is like a force field of the loins, but they are not indestructible. She can die. But I don't know. That's I'm really interested to see what they're going to do because Marvel always does this. Obviously, something is going to happen in this movie that is going to make you go back and watch the other movies differently and the movies going forward differently. Like they're going to plant something in there that's going to show up later on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm excited for about this movie. Obviously, Scarlett Johansson's awesome. In my opinion, she was one of the best parts of Endgame after I've watched it 100 times. Her performance, she kind of carries the movie at parts.
Yeah, she makes it work.
And it's just pretty crazy because she's soulless and heartless and just like a trained killer, and she slowly becomes like the mother of the whole group.
Yeah,
so
it works.
It's pretty amazing.
It's pretty cool.
And that.
Oh, right in the cape.
Is Comic-Jon, John.